Hi guys, we're going to do algebra proofs. This is the basic one that we're going to go over, and we're gonna mostly go over properties here. So key properties of equality we used in algebraic proofs, and these are the equality properties that we use in algebra 1 when we learned it last year. So let A, B, C be real numbers. We have additional property of equality. If A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. So if you add same thing left and right, that's addition property of equality. We used to write abbreviation. We write APPOE, ADDPOE, or APOE, APOE. We can just write abbreviation too, but that is the addition property of equality. The second property we need to know is subtraction property of equality. If A equals B, then A minus C equals B minus C. If you subtract same thing left and right, that's subtraction property. The next one is AC equals BC, because when you multiply same thing left and right, that's multiplication property of equality. The last one, if A equals B and C is not equal to 0, because if you divide it by 0, that's undefined. So if C is not 0, other than that, you can have A divided by C equals B divided by C. When you divide same thing left and right, that's division property of equality. So other properties we learned that we need to know is reflexive. That's when A equals A, the left side equals the right side. We call that matchy-matchy. So that's reflexive. And symmetric is when you switch. So S for switch, symmetric. When A, B, B, A switch, that's symmetric property. Transitive is if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. So they all equal each other. That is transitive property. Lastly, we have substitution property, which is if A equals B, then B can be replaced A in any equation or expression. So when you replace something with a value, or if you substitute or plug it in, we call that substitution property. This one is not a property, but if you see combining like terms, or if you see a reduced to make if you reduce to make the problem simpler, we simply just write simplify. We don't write any property. Sometimes that you're just doing combining like terms or just doing the math. We call that simplify. So you don't have a property, then you write simplify, okay? So here are the properties that we actually learned in Algebra 1 that we're going to use it for algebraic proofs for this lesson. Note, you may also see other properties such as commutative, associative, and distributive property. So, example of algebraic proof, you have to solve 7x minus 12 equals 2x plus 3 and write a reason for each step. So, this is a variable on both sides. So, the first step is here. That's the problem. We're going to solve for x. You're going to be given. So, given means they're going to give you the problem. So now you're going to subtract 2x here to get the 5x. When you subtract same thing left and right, that's subtraction property of equality. You can write SPOE, subtraction property of equality. We call that SPO or SUPPO. And then we're going to add 12 on each side to combine. So that's addition property of equality, or APOE, ADPO. And then we're going to divide each side by 5. That's division property of equality, which is DPOE, DPO. Now, if I switch x equals 3 to 3 equals x, if you switch sides like that, that's called symmetric property. I just added so I can review that. Next thing we're going to do is look at properties in real life situation. If the wind is blowing at 20 miles per hour, you can find the wind chill temperature W in degrees Fahrenheit by using the equation W equals 1.42 T minus 38.5, where T is the actual temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. Solve this equation for T and write a reason for each step. So basically, this is the equation to solve for that W. Okay, it's like a formula. Solve this equation for T and write a reason for each step. What is the actual temperature? In the wind chill temperature is, if the wind chill temperature is negative 24.3 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind is blowing at 20 miles per hour. So basically, wind chill is what you feel. It's not the actual temperature. So usually, you need to calculate the actual temperature, okay? So wind chill is what you feel, alright? So, the step is W equals 1.42 T minus 38.5. So you should write given because this is given to you. The given formula. And then we're going to solve for T so we can solve the problem. So what we're going to do is solve for T right here. So you want to isolate the T. So you see this minus 38.5. You should do APO, addition property of equality, and move this to the other side and add that to W. So when I add 38.5 here, 38.5 here, we call that addition property of equality, APO or ADPO, A-P-O-E. And then we're going to divide each side by 1.42 because we're solving for T. We're going to isolate T. So when you divide each side by 1.42, that's DPO, division property of equality. So T equals this formula. In order to find the temperature, actual temperature, the formula is W plus 38.5 divided by 1.42. Then, what's the actual temperature if the wind chill temperature is negative 24.3? That's really, really cold, right? So wind chill means you feel very cold, much lower than the actual temperature because the wind, and it's really cold. And what you do is you do substitution property. You put negative 24.3 into the wind chill because that's the wind chill, W, plus 38.5. Put parentheses here because you can do this first and then divide it by 1.42. If you don't put parentheses and just put this on the calculator, that calculator is going to do 38.5 divided by 1.42 because that's PEMDAS or GEMDAS order of operation. So you want to put parentheses on the numerator and separate these two. So the answer is 10 degrees. The actual temperature is 10 degrees, okay? So that's how you tackle properties in real life and solve the problem and use substitution property to solve and find the actual temperature. So now we're going to do the practice. You're going to solve the following problem and provide reasons for your step. Make a table like the examples. So here's the problem. 2 times 3x plus 1 equals 5x plus 14. I want you to make a T-chart, the table, and write the properties and solve for x. So please try that. Pause the video, try it, and check with the key. And I want you to solve each step by using the property, solve for x at the end. And as you solve it, I want you to write the properties for each step next to it. So make a T-chart and do this problem. So please pause the video and solve and write the properties and then check with the key. Pause the video. Here are the answers. So first you have given. So you write given. And then next, you're going to do the distributive property. So you get 6x plus 2 equals 5x plus 14. So it's distributive property. And then you're going to move 5x to the other side. Subtract 5x. 5x, that's SUPPO, subtraction property of equality. And then next, you're going to subtract 2 here, and make that 12. That's also subtraction property of equality. And then you're going to write 1x equals 12, and you're going to divide each side by 1, and x equals 12. You're going to write division property of equality, or if you write identity, it is still correct. Now, you can actually elaborate more and write inverse and all that. That is still good to do, but these are the main ones that you should definitely have. Alright, so thank you for watching the video. We'll do more practice in class.